These small farms, which are concentrated in the northern Nile Delta, are even the principal producers of internal demand because major operations are mostly focused on export. For instance, 60% of wheat consumed in Egypt is imported, almost entirely from Russia and Ukraine, two markets that have been severely impacted by the conflict, but for the rest, there are local small producers.
القطاع الزراعي في حوالي
The agricultural sector covers almost 8 million hectares. However, when we look at the number of farmers in this industry, we find that between 80 and 90% of them are small farmers with a total of 10 to 20 hectares each. The majority of Egypt's agricultural land is planted by small farmers, who also provide the majority of the country's food production and consume 80% of the country's water.
They are a crucial supply chain for feeding Egypt's 103 million people, yet they are being forced to sell at a loss. The country's only defense against the conflict in Ukraine is the small agricultural operators, who are being driven out of business.
We need farmers. Egypt is facing a problem as it deals with issues relating to food security, consumer behavior, water scarcity, employment, and financial inclusion, among other things. Working with the small farmers is the answer to all of these issues.
In Philippines, the pandesal is the main breakfast. It's a somewhat sweet food that is dipped in coffee or baked with cheese. But when the price of wheat rises and the peso weakens, making imported oil expensive, many bakeries are forced to reduce their production of it. The pandesal, often known as the pain of the poor, at the bakery Matimias in the Manil suburbs, had previously weighed 35 grams. It now weighs 25 grams, the only way that Jim Molion, the establishment's co-operator, initially discovered to prevent an increase. Risk losing consumers to a competitor 5 parties further away with his price of 2.5 pesos per unit.
Our worry is if we raise the price, they won't buy our bread, because we know that Filipinos will find ways to save money.
As a result of the suspension of Ukraine exports following outbreak of the conflict, the Food and Agriculture Organization's Food Price Index, which analyzes the international prices of the most widely traded food supplies, reached its highest position in March since records began in 1990.